Welcome as you can be. You are watching the Roundtable. This is a very special edition of the Roundtable for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the first time in a couple of weeks you get to see the three of us all together in studio.
Yeah, we're back. Clap, 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 clap.
However, more importantly, nobody said this relationship would last.
That's
but
right.
Today is 1 year that we launched this tremendous show. We got all sorts of ones up here on the desk, candles for some cupcakes. We are celebrating. Please feel free to celebrate wherever you are. Join us in what has been a fun show, great show, informational show, entertaining show.
That's right.
Whether John believes it or not, we actually like doing this show.
Yeah.
He sleeps back there, so I think he misses most of the show. Anyway,
I know.
It's all screwed up.
That's right. 70
Wake up, John.
702-992-3207. Of course, the man in the middle of my right, he is known as the best wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner, Denver Bronco, as well as maybe NFL history, Mr. Rick Upchurch.
Hello, how you doing? Good to be back, you know, guys.
You in the heat and humidity.
Yeah, I was down in heat and humidity down in Texas. It was bad, but you know I had to go.
Lost all your hair.
I did. See, it shrunk. It's
even worse than it was.
It went back into my head.
It said, I'm hiding from this humidity.
Yeah, they call it the afro is gone. It's no fro. That's what it's called.
You're not getting less hair. You're getting more head.
Yeah. But my great
take that in many different ways.
Yeah, my great grandson, he was going into the first grade, so he wanted Paw there. So I went down there, visit my daughter, my granddaughter, and I hadn't seen them for a while. They were jonesing for me. I was jonesing for them as well. That's for sure. And yeah, it was good. And I'm sorry if I didn't tell you guys that I was leaving, but my goodness, I must have CTE as well.
No, I spoke to George afterwards, and I said, I think he did tell us like 2 weeks ago because it sounded familiar when you said something about your daughter when I called you.
Yeah.
So I'm up in Reno, which, by the way, the weather was great up there. It was so cool up there. Right. I'm up in Reno. George and I are online. I'm like, oh, crap, it's 5 to 4. He's waiting for you to walk in. I'm like, something's not right. Something's not right. And I said, well, we got 2 minutes to go. Let me just call Rick real quickly. He's like, what are you calling me for? I'm in Texas. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I know. Listen, you're one of the best family men I've ever met in my life that just really enjoys being with your family. And so I'm glad you had an opportunity to go down there.
Absolutely.
The man who held down the fort not only for the Roundtable last week, but also as a fill-in guest host for Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips last Saturday. When I was up in Reno, he is the mouth, Mr. George Close.
Thank you, sir.
How are you?
I've been thinking about this for a few days.
Weird News, by the way, was very fun to listen to.
Did you like the
I absolutely did.
It's a fun thing to do. Just type in
That's
weird
what he
news.
did for an hour on my Aaron's Hour.
Yeah, on Aaron's
And
Hour.
John chimed in whenever the meds kicked in.
Weird news that's out there that we would talk about, and that was fun.
What did that do? That took you another step, didn't it?
It did.
You're close to being on NBC and ABC,
I'm hoping
right?
so, but I do want you guys to know, the year in,
that
I'm extremely grateful that you guys, both of you, took me on to let me ride with you for this.
Oh my goodness!
It's
I
helped
don't
out
want
in
to say
many
you're
ways.
welcome because the three of us had agreed to do this together.
Well, it's done more
but
for
you're
me
welcome that I asked you to join us for
you'll
lunch
ever
at
know.
Applebee's that day.
Right. Well, then you'll ever know. It's just done more for me than you'll ever know.
Absolutely. Well,
and I consider you guys not just colleagues, but friends.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
And I appreciate it, and regardless of
John?
what we might disagree in.
John?
Oh,
is he all right?
Fuck John, man.
Oh boy. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
His finger went up before mine did. No, and the whole everything, including John, it's just been great.
Yeah,
it's been a year, and I'm back on the air, and it's just done wonders for me. And I hope you guys feel the same because it's just been great.
Well, we do. We absolutely do. We have a good time. All across the board, we get silly, we get crazy, but we also get in depth with conversation.
Sure. And that's even important because sometimes we don't agree on a lot of stuff.
I tell people, when people ask me what the Roundtable show's about, I say to them, picture the view on TV. However, we like each other.
Yeah.
That's always the big difference. We talk about everything from sports to health, which is really how the show got started, to topical and everything. I said, but at the end of the day, we're all allowed to have our opinion without hating each other.
Sure.
We walk off the set, we hug, we kiss, we shake hands. Great show. Have a good week. We'll talk during the week, and we'll see you next week. How's the wife? We're here. What?
Now that you mention if one of you does kind of look like Whoopi.
Okay. But I don't have the dreads, man. I don't have the dreads. Doggone it.
Hey, by the way, thank you for watching us on Facebook, either here on our Facebook page or on the WWDBTV studio page. Also YouTube, same 2 channels. Of course, in about 72 hours, you can check us out on Roku on the WWDBTV channel. There's a whole plethora of shows that you can watch. Not only all the shows of us since the beginning of time, but I'll tell you what, there is a lot, and some new ones like The Gift of Giving. Stephen Murphy's launching. We have some other stuff going on. So I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't downloaded the channel, do so now. And I'm stuck. And no, I have a good authority that someone on this panel is currently putting a demo together for us to submit to XM Sirius Radio.
That's right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? And I was going to see how long you were going to keep going with it.
Keep going.
And you didn't
One
say
more
it this
and.
time.
Keep going.
You kept saying, yeah. Every time I was saying and, you were going, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't really, never mind.
Keep it going.
We're looking at you.
I'm trying to get back in the saddle, fellas.
We're even looking into whether the Super Bowl will be gracious enough and crazy enough to host us at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
At Media Week.
I wasn't going to bring that
I'm going to put it out there.
Yes, sir.
I was going to bring that up.
No, you got to put it out there for the secret to do its
Heck yeah.
thing in the universe.
Heck yeah.
We're hoping to be there at Super Bowl Media Row
Absolutely.
and be involved. After all,
So
we're probably one of the only network shows that are based here in Vegas that's going to be part of it.
It should be.
Absolutely.
And if
I love it. I think it's
Roger, if
great.
you're listening, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, we're right here, dude. We just feed us. About a couple of
Call
times.
him.
Speaking of
What'd
that,
you call?
we were
Yes.
discussing this before. Over 6,000 media passes have already been given out.
Sure.
24 countries.
Yeah.
Wow, 24.
Yeah.
And
So that's 8 passes. Was that 80 passes? 800 passes per country?
it's
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
a
lot.
few.
I can make this up.
And they did say, right, we'll find out exactly what they look like, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
God,
yeah,
great.
no,
Don't let the whole world know. The
Right.
police will be
Okay.
waiting.
So I'm going to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
With that media, with the media and all of those countries and that whole deal, are they throwing into a pool? Is there money behind it? Do they have to pay in order to get those passes? Is that what they have to do? I would say yes. Once again, that's how they make their money.
Well, passes versus having a seat at Media Row. Is that what we're talking about?
Well,
Because that's different.
and again, I don't know anything. I found the application.
Sure.
So I was going to fill it out
Send it
and
in.
see what happens.
what
I don't know if you have
about
to
your
pay
voice
for
thing?
the passes, but you might have to, of course, pay for the accommodations that your
Right.
your
Well, the
team's coming
space
out.
for
If
your
you
table.
have to send out ABC or ESPN or small time. Like
Absolutely.
We better make sure when all that happens, we let John know so he's there with us.
Yeah,
to do the
Johnny
show.
John, we loved you,
Well, the
Johnny.
whole thing today's world, the
Yes.
Sirius XM radio, on that level, you don't have to move to New York anymore.
Right.
People broadcast their stuff from all over the
Right.
world.
Actually, that's a good point.
We wouldn't have to move. We could stay right here with John
Absolutely.
there, and then we would just get picked up, and they would put our stuff on their
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to do this, man. I want to be on Media Row so when people,
Well,
like I did
that's-
at the convention, when
well,
people
Super Bowl
walk by that I want to see.
We want
Hey,
that.
I'm Mr. Upchurch. Come on over here and say, I want to hear
Yeah.
you do that.
What's
or whoever
up?
makes the Super Bowl. Hey, Mr.
Right,
such and
exactly.
such. Hey,
But here's a good thing, I guess.
Derek Carr.
Anyway.
But based on what I did in Reno last week, because I did our show from the hotel room, I did Kiwanis Connects from the ballroom. We don't really even need John there if he can't set up. We just take my laptop, take the equipment we need, we just set up, and we just link in like everybody else
Just
does.
throw John out of the
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
no,
out
not
of
throw
the-
him out. Now, if he wants to be there, don't get me wrong,
Right.
because he might even get some recognition and work out of it for him as well. But
Well, can you imagine
as
what
he
that
keeps reminding us, he's getting older, and he may not want to go down there all
that
the time.
might do for WWDBTV?
Of course.
Yeah.
On top of just the
Yeah.
Which means
roundtable.
we'd have to buy a banner. We'd have to
That's
get
right.
a WWDBTV banner
That's
so we
right.
can promote.
That's
and-
right. That's
So,
right. We're going big.
We're going
if we're
big.
Gonna, if
And
we're
if you-
going in, we're going big.
And if we're going down, we're going down big.
That's right.
Either
That's
way.
right.
And if you go on YouTube, you can type in past Super Bowl Media Row
Absolutely.
and get an idea of how they do that and how
Right.
great and how awesome
Yeah.
it would be just to be tucked in there between ABC, CBS,
Could you
Sports
imagine?
Illustrated.
Could you imagine Mike Greenberg on one side and the guy from Colin Cowherd
I
on
would
the other
freak
side?
out.
of
Yeah.
us, and we're in
Yeah.
between
Colin
these two
Cowherd's
guys.
from
Yeah.
here.
I know. Could you imagine that?
Yeah,
How cool would that
absolutely.
be? Or how about this one? We have local Fox affiliate here.
Yeah.
We have a local ESPN. We have a local all those guys.
Right.
John, we do our stuff with John, but at the same time, those channels simulcast us, and we're hired by those networks to do our thing. And they broadcast our show onto their networks at the same
There
time.
you go. There you
And-
go. I like it.
They have a division, each one of those guys or stations, that do all the sponsorship on their own.
sales and stuff.
Yeah,
right.
We would just kick back, and of course, if we found.
But I have a funny feeling all those people that follow us, when we tell them that we're going to be on Super Bowl Row and we're going to have some special packages together.
Yep.
I'm sure our folks will be more than happy to support us as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of football, though,
speaking about
gang,
back.
Football is back.
Back.
You know, first week of preseason and all that type of
Was
stuff,
this
gang.
week 2 last week? Yes, this week
1.
It was week 1 last week. Yeah, week 1.
Oh, you know what threw me off? The Jets and the Browns played in the Hall of Fame game.
Right.
That's what threw me off.
And the thing about it, for me, guys, I was walking around down there in Texas, right? And I went over to a high school that was close by, and I had that smell of fresh cut grass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
great.
here you don't have it. You have turf, right? Because it's too hot here. You have grass. But they had that fresh cut grass, man, and it started hitting my nostrils, and I said, oh my goodness.
You still get the itch
I
now?
still get the itch
Do you really?
every year at this time.
But then when you hear the first clap of pads and somebody goes down hurt, you're like, I'm glad I'm not down there anymore?
No, because I never got touched, okay?
His uniform went off. His uniform was in his locker clean. He wore it for 12 hours. He was able to hang it right back up.
Didn't even have to wash it for 2 weeks.
No, that's right. Exactly. After a while, you just got to call it, uniform, come here. It was so stiff, it jumped right on him for
So
not
we
being
had
washed.
a lot of Cowboy fans getting
a lot of Cowboy fans. I was wearing my Bronco stuff down there.
Enemy territory.
I told them they're the little D and we're the big D. And all
that stuff.
My daughter had to get in between me and a few people. You know,
that's
it
hilarious.
got like that.
Wow.
I don't like them anyway because of 1977,
Exactly.
78 Super Bowl, man. They got my ring and all that type of stuff. I got this one on. I got this one on AFC Championship. But the thing about it is this. A lot of folks, man, they get into preseason, right? They get into it big time, right?
It helps a little just to get the juices are getting back.
But the thing about it is that the very first game, folks are getting all over Russell Wilson. And I'm like, what is wrong with you all? You folks, once again, we're in that microwave type of situation, right?
Done now.
Our society is that way.
Now.
This is the first game. The first game is to find out, getting back together, getting coordinated together, the coaches, the players, getting familiar with one another, getting the timing down. You watch film off of that so that you get better the next game. Folks, don't take preseason so seriously.
Yeah,
let them get their cuts in, and then let the regular season come. Now you can get serious. Settle down.
I think what aids in that is that you can gamble on preseason games like you can a regular season game.
Right.
And that's what I think is adding too much, because the starters are only playing 1 or 2 series.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? And then we know, but usually by the last game of the preseason is when most of the first units will play a little extended. But the fact that you can still gamble on points or this one or that, even through preseason, I think is aiding to the fact that people are getting upset early.
Well, they're blowing money.
Do you think Russell Wilson is going to have a rebound year this year under Peyton?
I really do, because I think Peyton is coming in and he says my way or the highway.
Right.
And he's putting pressure on Russell to be the best that he can possibly be. You need that type of coach, especially with a veteran.
Right.
Because as veterans, you get comfortable. Yep. You say, man, it's all good. Everybody loves me and that whole deal. No. People have to continue to put their foot up your ass so that you can go out and perform and know that you're the leader of that football team and I need you.
And even though you have a ring already, you still have to have that fire.
You still have to have that fire.
After all, what was the coaching tree Sean Payton fell from?
Was it Parcells?
I knew he was going to say.
No, but I'm doing that because Bill is old school.
Yes.
He was on Lawrence Taylor.
Belichick.
These guys were on their stars as much as they were the rookies.
Absolutely.
And they don't give him the slack. And to hear some of it, and you would probably know this better than anybody, to hear that Wilson had his own parking spot or whatever, all that diva-like stuff. Was that true? Did he have that last year?
Very, very true. He was separated from the locker room.
So who do you blame for that last year?
Once again, I know. Mr. Hackett. The head coach is the guy.
Gotcha.
And also the ownership. Mm-hmm. The ownership, remember, ownership was on their way out, and I don't think they really cared what Russell would do. But now here comes the head coach. And remember, Hackett had never been a head coach.
Right.
So he's going to be appeasing to Russell.
Yeah,
to everybody. Oh, I love you, and I love you. I want you to play for me. No. I can only say that in 1977, when we got a new coach in Red Miller came in with a stick.
He did.
And he came in and laying the law down and put everybody in line.
Right.
And at the end of the year, we end up going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, the goal, and like you said, coaches are not meant to be loved.
No.
Respected, yes.
Yes.
And love, not really. If over time, you gain respect and you end up loving your coach because he was hard on you and you did what you had to do to get to where you wanted you to be.
Right.
And I remember the respect I had for my coaches. Didn't like him, but I respected him and I understood what they were trying to do.
Absolutely. And that's what folks have to understand out there. And it takes time, right, guys? Yep. When you cook rice, man, you got to wait for all the water to
Even though it's a minute rice, it takes a half an hour.
It takes a half an hour. You got to get all the water out of there in that ordeal, and then you have rice. Right. And it's the same thing with football or any other sport, right, gang? You have to allow, things to come together. Players, just like with us here, we had to come together, and now we flow so well. So, folks, take your time. This is not microwave stuff. Right. It's not. You let it work. And then at the end of the year, if you don't see improvement and it's not any better, then you can step up to the plate and say, this guy got to go.
Last thought before we go to break.
Speaking of ownership, you see that the Washington Commanders, they respect their new owner. They gave him the game ball last week because they won. And there was a petition out there that had about 100,000 signatures to turn the name back to the Redskins.
I'd heard about that.
And I think
previously
that's a good idea. The fans want it. And it's very important for this team with a new ownership to do that for them and for themselves. I think it's going to help the team immensely by doing that.
And I heard that when he was buying the team, that was something that he was going to.
And even Magic Johnson is on board.
Yes. Well, isn't he a small minority?
He's a minority.
He's
like Tom Brady would be for the Raiders.
People need to remember that the reason these teams were named the Redskins or the Cleveland Indians or the Kansas City Chiefs,
the history of the area,
was all to honor those individuals in those societies, whatever terminology.
Well, even in the area.
Yeah, or in the area.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. You have to sit down with the Iroquois. You have to sit down with the Cherokee. You have to sit down with them in council, and see if it's okay or if it's offensive to them.
I think what they hear. Been okay. I think they're okay with it, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, once again, I'm just saying at the beginning, you should have done that.
Ask the Florida State Seminoles if they want to become the Florida State Goofies. Hey, you're watching the round? Yes, sir. I had such momentum there, and then he raised his hand.
Okay, speaking about the Redskins, right?
Yes.
What about the Mississippi Blackskins?
Yeah, how about that?
What is that? I'm not sure. I'm not following you on that one.
It's another team.
Yeah.
What, a college team or something?
No.
You're just talking about
the reason
you're watching the Roundtable. We'll be right back. We'll educate George.
I know what he's doing.
Hello, everybody. It's me, President Trump, greatest president in the history of presidents, and I've been on a lot of shows. Believe me, but the best one by far is Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. This guy is so amazing. What a great interviewer, and you can catch him every Saturday from 12 to 1. 12 to 1. It's a tremendous show. You know why? I was on it, and the ratings went through the roof. Check it out on WWDBTV. That's WWDBTV. It's huge.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Anybody want a cupcake?
I'm performing a bris on the cupcakes. We'll be right back. Just give me a couple of seconds. No, I'm only kidding.
It's our year anniversary, everybody.
That's right. We have cupcakes, but apparently this store where these cupcakes came from. By the way, thank you, Rick.
They're called Smiths.
Yeah. Well, I guess with all the
apparently Smith and Wesson sealed these damn cupcakes.
With all the theft going on in grocery stores, I guess they had to lock them up.
Anyway, really.
Blew them up.
All right, stupid. We got a lot going on, a lot to talk about. So you guys want to stay on the wait a minute, is this
on the
upside
air?
down?
Yes, we do.
No, there we go. Let's stay with the football theme. There was a huge additional football story that came out this past week.
Yes.
About Michael Orr.
Yeah.
Orr?
Michael Orr.
Else.
Now,
all right, take it away, Mr. George, while we set up the cupcakes.
This story just came out. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I did send a little.
Yep, I saw the movie, loved it.
Apparently, and again, I'm not sure the exact definition between adoption and conservatorship, but apparently he found out just recently that he was not adopted. It was a conservatorship, and that he feels that the family that adopted him was using him.
The Toohey family, as depicted in the movie.
Yeah, and that they had nefarious issue or plans to, and the family was already rich. The husband, the father owned a fast food franchise, made a couple $100 million.
Right.
So I don't know if again, I think Michael Orr, I don't know the whole story, but I think there might be some misguided people on his end that's trying to start something that's not true. And again, I don't think they adopted him or they wanted him to come in his family because they wanted to help him. He was a standout high school player when they adopted him, but they didn't know for sure if he was going to go to college and play or go pro. They took him into their family. And again, I've read the book and the movie, and I only see that they had good intentions.
Read the movie?
I read the book and watched it. Oh, did I say read the movie? Yeah, I read the movie and watched the book. But from what I understand, there were good intentions with that family.
Yeah,
they didn't make millions of dollars off that film like he's saying that he didn't get his cut. But they from the family standpoint, they split everything 5 ways because they had 2 children of their own,
right.
Michael and them, and they said it was $15,000-$20,000 each. They didn't get multiple millions for this movie. Now, Michael Orr became a success when he played 9-10 seasons.
I actually met him once at a foundation event that I was hosting for.
Nice guy and everything.
Huge, nice guy.
He made $30-40 million in his career.
He's a big fella, so don't piss him off.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So outside, I don't know what the issue is, if they had some issues personally along the way after a while. I mean, he is 37 now. He's done football, and now he just finds all this out.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think, like you said, maybe he's getting some bad advice on the outside, George. But to me, when I read this, when did the movie come out? 15 years ago?
Yeah, 2009, 2010.
Why did it have to wait for this long for somebody maybe to get in his ear about this and make it an issue to where, now it looks bad for the family and it makes the movie and the book look like a little farce, perhaps. But why did it have to take this long if there was some concern? Why didn't it come out earlier?
And speaking of the America Speaks segment.
Yes.
There's some fan base out there.
Mm-hmm.
The Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for that movie.
Right.
There's some people out there that want her to return the Oscar because of the farce. I got really angry when I heard that.
I can't wait to talk about
Stop. We're gonna read the comments.
All right.
This is absolutely ridiculous. And even if these are all actors. They got hired to play their parts in the movie.
Right.
And it was a real good movie. Now, even if it was totally untrue, it was still a great movie, and she still earned the Oscar. Mm-hmm. So to have her give that back is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. Again, we'll read some of those comments, but I feel bad for this whole thing. Kind of.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Michael's getting any residual income from it. You understand what I'm saying? Over time, they play it and they play it and they play it, and the more they play it, the more money that they continue to make over time. So Michael's probably saying, "Do I get any residual income?" And in the contract, I don't know if he had a contract or if whatever happened in that whole deal with them, but is he getting any residual income? Is anybody else continuing to get residual income?
The movie made over $300 million. And from the parents' side, from what I understand, they only each got paid a one lump sum of $15,000-$20,000 each back with it. Right. And I heard there was some residual income out there, but again, I don't know how that was divided up.
Well, to give you the definition of what a conservatorship is.
Right.
Conservatorship is a court order that appoints someone to oversee the financial affairs of a minor or a person who is incapacitated. A guardianship typically involves the appointment of someone to manage the medical and physical care of a person with limited capacity or as a minor.
And that's where the lawsuit's coming, because he's saying he thought he was being adopted instead of. But when you're 16 and 17, that stuff doesn't compute.
Right. Britney Spears was probably the biggest issue in the news regarding conservatorship between her and her dad for years.
Yeah. Surprise! She's filing for divorce from her husband of a year and a half.
So that is another example that has been out there in the news. I just I just find it sad that, again, years have gone by since the movie went out there.
15 years.
We'll address the comments about her winning the Oscar, whether should or should not when the time comes. But it shouldn't have had, he's 37.
Right.
We're talking about when he was 16, 15, 16. You're talking a length of time where something 21 years on average, somewhere in between there, somebody could have said something even after he turned 18.
Yeah, but it's just like in the music industry, right?
Yeah.
Like Chuck Berry
They all got
or
ripped back in the 50s.
any of those guys, right? A lot of those guys, man, they got no residual income, even with movies back in the day.
That was the industry more so than just an arrangement, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's similar.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Sly Stone.
Yeah, Sly Stone.
He finally got what's
And-
coming to him.
And the Jeffersons, when you look at the movie industry, when you look at the Jeffersons, George Jefferson them never got any
The TV
residual
industry.
I
income
met him. Sherman
at
Hemsley.
all.
Sherman
Yeah,
Hemsley.
Sherman
Never-
Hemsley.
He was a great guy.
They never got any.
Yeah.
And also, what was with
you're-
JJ and those guys?
Good time.
Good times. They didn't get him. They didn't get any.
But
either.
that was also the industry at that time. They didn't know that residual would be an issue because at that time they were not rerunning shows like they do now and selling in syndication.
Right.
I'm not justifying one way or the
No,
other.
I got you.
But what I'm saying is that those type of things were not standard within any entertainment industry because who knew in the 70s something about syndication?
Yeah.
What that was going to mean, reruns.
I will tell you, when you're a struggling actor, it doesn't matter black, white, Asian, whatever. When you're a struggling actor and you get an opportunity, sign here and we'll make you rich. You'll be a movie star.
Right.
And this is, you're thinking, oh my God, this might be the only
This is
chance.
my shot.
Yeah.
This is it. What do you say? No? Okay, go back to waiting tables or security.
Yeah.
You sign it.
Right.
And you worry about the repercussions.
But
down
here's
the
the
road.
thing about it. When you look at Elvis Presley,
Mhm.
Elvis Presley, man, he got, as long as they played his movies,
Mhm.
he got residual income.
Well, that was
Because
Tom Parker
Tom
ripped
Parker,
him off,
right.
though, too.
Yeah.
Right. Colonel Tom Parker did not do him justice
Right.
on the inside.
Right.
But he also knew, though, to set him up to get those residuals.
down the
And
road.
that was like light years ahead
That's
of
right.
contract
Right.
negotiations.
That's right. Yeah.
So there you have the side that, the good and the bad, the same person.
Yeah.
Right.
Two-Face before Two-Face became a Batman villain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Comedy
Yeah,
is fine.
but it's complicated, guys. It's
Oh,
really
absolutely.
complicated, and I'm sure he's probably sitting back. Mr. Orr Michael Orr is sitting
Right.
back, and he's saying, "Man, I missed out." And he's got people in his ear saying, "Man, you missed out. Look
Right.
at how much money these guys are continuing to get off of you."
All I wish is for someday for all of us to be in a position to have to worry about negotiating residuals. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Too late.
No, yes. I
Right,
don't
it's
mean to-
over. WWDBTV
And I wasn't
owns
talking
us.
about WWDBTV.
He owns us. Did you know that now?
We're in a conservatorship with WWDBTV. He can have the 3
Yeah,
cents.
John. Hey, man, I like mines and hundreds. Okay, I like.
Hundreds of pennies, please. All right, let's move on. I want to shift gears. We're talking about entertainment, right?
Right.
Entertainment in general.
We are?
Sort of. Not on this show.
Kind of.
We're not delivering entertainment. Here's one. We're going to stick with the entertainment industry. Watch for this reach, fellas.
Okay.
Ex-boyfriend owes Texas woman $1.2 billion after revenge porn verdict.
Now.
See what I did there? Porn entertainment? So
It is.
That
It
was
is
a reach. It
entertainment.
was. I'm sorry.
Have you heard about that, Rick?
I have. I've heard about it, man.
Man.
I was down in Texas. Remember? I heard.
That's right.
Oh, that's
he
right.
covered the story. by
Oh, you
the
were
way.
there. Hey, he might have been in one of the movies.
No.
No, but so, yeah, this guy is getting sued because whatever they did in private film or pictures or whatever, and he, it was a bad breakup, and he threw all that stuff online.
Yeah.
1.2 billion. Okay, I mean, you can sue and you get some money out of it. 1.2 billion. Do you think she's gonna ever see that?
No.
He'll file bankruptcy.
Yeah, it's
Call
more
it
of
a
a
day.
statement of saying,
Correct,
hey,
yeah.
if you ever.
Right.
And that's why Denise doesn't let me take any.
Right, exactly.
God, do you really think? Maybe
I just want
that's.
to know what was on those videos. I'm
Me
curious
too.
now.
Is it in high definition? That's what I want to know.
I want to see
That's
4D. 4D. Maybe they were 4Ds. I don't know.
4K, 4D.
If anybody finds them, send them up here to our attention. Anyway,
But see, that's the kind of world we live in today, where you can't. There's no respect for one each other when you break up. It's easy now to destroy someone's
It
life
really
with
is,
social
right?
media.
It really
You couldn't
is.
do that
No.
50 years ago.
No.
Where would you?
well,
you
there's
know.
a similar story in wrestling right now. Matt Riddle, who former MMA fighter, been in pro wrestling now for a number of years. He's had some dependency issues.
Okay.
So he got in trouble with that, and then he started dating a XXX star after he got divorced from all of that. But here's the thing. He got in trouble when leaked videos went out of him and his now ex-wife.
Not the XXX, but the ex-wife. Okay.
No, the former wife.
Yeah, the former wife, not the
The one ex-wife. No, not the triple. Too many exes.
Yeah.
His previous wife. Okay, now they consented to whatever they were doing. I don't know what was in them.
Privately at home.
Privately. So somebody released them, and WWE was considering, and they may still have in a way that we don't know officially, disciplining him for this action because it looked a black eye in WWE. They're doing the merger with Endeavor, their own part by Disney. Yeah. But here's my take on that. If it was consensual, and obviously there had to have been a third party filming, I guess, unless there was unless it's on a tripod.
Just like this. Yeah.
Cut.
Right, exactly. Little to the left, please.
I said the left nipple, not the right.
That's right. But that's the thing, though. If it was privately done between a husband and wife, now granted, it's going to be up there on your computer, whatever. If somebody hacked their computer and found it,
or they took it in for repair,
oh my gosh! But it's not. To me, I find that the discipline in that scenario is inappropriate. Because it may not have been his fault that went out there. He was with his wife at the time.
Now,
so to me, this is all of those pictures and things. How do we, how do you stop it?
Yeah,
you can't.
I look at WWE. You said that they're partly owned by Disney.
Partially,
but do you think it's really WWE, or is it because of their association with Disney that they feel like
and it's also because they're on the Peacock network where they run their
kids
with kids,
right.
But their merger with this new entity Endeavor with UFC, they can't have any black marks on them until they complete the merger with UFC under this new umbrella of Endeavor, whatever. So they're trying to keep clean. The bottom line is, yes, the Peacock network, they're on USA Network for wrestling, Fox. So you've got these family-friendly channels that they can't risk losing sponsors over and all that stuff. Or now they got TV contracts coming up in the year that they have to start negotiating. Now all of a sudden they say, "Oh, you got that Riddle guy who's got his videos out there. That's not good." That's
But see, if they would talk about it, the kids probably would never know about it. Some of the families would never know.
Yeah, but you can't not do it on social media.
It's not about hiding. It's just don't talk about it.
But you can't avoid it.
Well,
the kids are on
it's almost just like with Target, right?
Yeah.
Target, they had the clothes in there for gay people and all those type of things. They lost a lot of folks. A lot of folks won't shop there anymore simply because of their stance. Mm-hmm. And so, this stuff, I mean, it can really hurt you when you put this type of stuff out there.
Bud Light had an issue with the beer. With a supporter.
Yeah, but when you have less than 1% of the people out there that they were targeting, it's just such a small group to have to make such a big hoopla.
But the problem is two simple words, and we're gonna kind of segue into this in a moment. Mm-hmm. Social media. News shows do not make money when every story for 30 minutes or 60 minutes is all about the fireman saving the cat in the tree. That's why those stories are the last 2 minutes. When they say goodbye, the credits start rolling over.
Here's a cute story.
We're going to hear. By the way, real quickly, as I'm thinking about it, thoughts and prayers to everybody out in Hawaii and Maui.
Yes.
I will have a guest on Aaron's Hour on Saturday who grew up in Maui, has experience spending time out on Lahaina, and he's going to be on with me sharing some of that. But, you're talking about a time where social media is playing such an important role, and social media will take that 1% and all of a sudden make it look like it's 98% of the community. And that's social media, and that's the news agency.
You brought that up because I just read an article the other day that the average American spends 2.5 hours a day on social media. And they said that figure doubles with high school kids.
Sure.
Well, how do you spend 5.5, 6 hours a day on social media? You're in school at least that long.
Because the problem is you're allowed phones in school, even though there's technically.
So the math teacher's up there, and you're like,
technically, they're allowed to bring phones to school. However, but during the day, they're supposed to be turned off and put into their backpack. That's right. But then comes lunch, then comes an assembly that they're not supposed to have it on.
Right.
They're on their bus to and from. Look, even when I get my weekly reports from Facebook about how long I'm on Facebook, I'm amazed because I live on it because of what I do.
And you guys, I'm 2.5 hours.
But it's just back in my day, it was Pong. right? It was Mario Brothers. It was those little video games. Now it's social media. Now it's our phones because all that is on here now.
Absolutely.
Is it an addiction like a drug?
Of course it is.
What a great segue that is.
Of course it is. I mean, when you look at all the outlets, TikTok, Instagram, you got more and more. You can't keep up with it because the exposure is what they want. Right. That's how they get what? Paid.
So on that note, I want to share about the exposure thing. So as you guys know, I work for the school district, and the school name I will not mention, but I work there, and they have a program where students can learn a little bit of what we kind of do. Okay. And so I was talking to some of the girls at lunch who were like the anchors there. And I said, so tell me, why are you interested in doing the news, being in front of a camera and all that? One of them said to me, she said pretty much exactly what you just did. She says, because I want to become more known. I want to be more known to people because of being on social media. And not to learn the skill.
Right.
But that's exactly what they should do.
But let me say this. Honestly, I just got back, right? Yeah. With my great grandson. He's 6 years, just turned 6 years old. Wow. He works this stuff better than anybody I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And he picks up on it like that.
Absolutely. Now, is that a good thing to learn certain things?
Because for me, while I was there, I said, you're going to take a 20-minute break off of this. And that
wasn't happy.
No, he was not happy. Okay. Then he went into another room to try and hide from me in that deal. And I went into the room and said, give me that thing.
Even when my kids were home, we had a rule. We have dinner together. Phones are nowhere near the table. So we had that time.
Right.
Unfortunately, time has come now. My wife and I, they're out of the house. What are we doing? Mm-hmm. We're making dinner. We're sitting and eating in front of the TV on dinner trays because we're sitting together. Right. We want to sit at a table. And what are we doing? Watching TV,
or
eating,
on the phone.
And I'm keeping an eye over here on the phone.
Right. Isn't that crazy how we all fall into the trap?
Absolutely. I had a lady say to me at the convention, honest to God, I'm sitting next to her at one of the luncheon meals. And I have my phone in my hand. And every time I put it down for a second, like 30 seconds later, I'm picking it back up. And she says, everybody's like that today. She says, don't you ever put the phone down? I looked at her and I said, let me tell you, because of what I do, every show that I have on the air, I have a separate email, my work email, my personal email. I said, so I wish I could, but I can't. I'm always like, I'm up in Reno, but I'm still messaging sponsors and guests and everything else. Right. Work doesn't stop just because I'm at a convention.
You know what we do, or what in the security business, there are concerts like Bruno Mars in particular at the Park Theater. He doesn't want cell phones. Well, how are you going to keep 10,000 people? Well, when they come in, they have these little bags, and they have a lock on them. We respectfully ask that you put the cell phone in the bag. We lock it. They can hold on to the bag, but they can't unlock it.
Right.
And they have a number. So, go watch the concert. Why? And we have people, I'm not giving up my...
Well, because they want to video it and they want to take pictures, which is illegal.
Right. First of all, you're going to see a famous artist that you like, that you're obviously paid $100 for a ticket or hundreds of dollars.
Right.
Put the phone up for 2 hours. No, I get it. I understand.
No. It's you're an addict. Yeah. Phones are addictive.
They are.
Social media is addictive.
They're umbilical cords.
That's what they are.
Invisible.
So, which would you rather leave at home? Which would upset you more that you forget and leave home? Your cell phone or your wallet?
My wallet.
Yeah.
I'm still old school. My wallet, I feel naked without my wallet. But the phone, there's times when I need it for work too.
Yeah,
I do. And I'm like, oh my God, I left my phone at home. Oh my God.
Honestly, guys, for me, honestly, I can separate myself from my phone. Mm-hmm. I force myself to separate myself from the phone because I've watched everybody else, man, and how addictive they've gotten to the phone. And I sit there and I'm like, what the hell, man? Yeah. Everybody, man, is on their phone. I mean, just everybody.
And you can't have a conversation.
You can't have a conversation with them or anything. No. It's crazy, gang. It's nuts.
The only time I separate from mine is when I go to sleep at night because I don't bring it purposely to my bed. My wife has hers up there in case of an emergency.
Well, you got to sleep.
But for me, I keep on the charger down the living room. My wife brings hers up to the room to charge and have just in case. Mm-hmm. And the only other time when I'm in Lake Havasu for the week, when I'm down out the water because it's 120 degrees, I keep my phone in the room because otherwise it's going to blow up and overheat. Yeah, and that's really the only time I purposely, even when I'm on an airplane, and you got to put that cockamamie phone on airplane mode. Yep. Even though you can play some games, I'm like, God damn, man, 6 hours. I need to know what's going on. I just take off. It kills me. All right. Yeah. But that's a great segue because we come back, we're going to talk about why being on social media has some of the same side effects as having like substance abuse.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to cover that. We got America Speaks. We got Cupcakes to eat. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Who's
With our award-winning patented Ultimate 3-in-1, pack wrinkle-free in our innovative garment bag, generous duffel, and all-purpose day pack for incredible versatility. Experience easy wrinkle-free packing with quick access to travel essentials. Exclusively ours, an extension pocket for longer items or additional storage. Avoid check-in fees and lost luggage with our patented wraparound garment bag and duffel for a single carry-on. Easily hang the garment bag at your destination and use our duffel as a pop-up drawer. Back at home, the duffel and garment bag fold neatly into the day pack for compact storage. Travel smarter and simpler with Ultimate Luggage.
You got you all. Hey, welcome back. We got glitter all over the desk on the candles. That's on you. It's not on me. Who bought the candles?
Who bought the candles? I did.
With the cake?
I
With the
did.
cupcakes?
With the cupcakes.
There weren't any non-glittery candles?
There was none. We're glittery all the time,
we're
right?
shiny
We just
people.
shiny.
Well, after midnight do I wear glitter.
Now, oh, the thoughts.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to give you the privilege of lighting. I'm not a lighter.
Absolutely.
Although, John, wait a minute. John's got the grill light.
Well, we don't want to burn the studio
John, come
down.
around. You might as well come around here because you can light. He's the pyro.
Yeah, and he's the pilot of the show. He's the pilot of the
For those
show,
who do not know, this is our guy, John Stiles here. We've got. Did you purposely get 4 for one cupcake for each of us?
I did. I did.
He's the guy that keeps us looking pretty.
Absolutely.
So you're going to probably take the orange one.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what time it is.
That's right.
And you'll probably get the yellow. Right.
And you didn't bring any black or silver, of course.
No, hell no.
I knew that.
Yeah, black ones are for funerals.
But I'll take purple. That's my favorite.
The green one.
There you
money,
go.
honey. Right?
Oh, the green one.
All right. So happy birthday to us. One more year, first year in the books. That's a lot of episodes and a lot of shows. And quite frankly, we couldn't have done it without y'all staying with us. We appreciate it. Now another.
We do.
How many more years you want to do this?
Well, you know what? I love it. I think it's so much fun. If
my acting career doesn't take off, I'll do it. Sure.
Yeah. And a lot of my folks, from Colorado, from Ohio, they're on the show, man. And they just absolutely love it. And they're like, Rick, where you been? Where are you at? I'm like, hey, man, you got to catch me. But, man, let me tell you something. We are really picking up a lot of the audience out there.
Absolutely. Sure. And we got some new sponsors coming on, which we'll be announcing in the next couple of weeks. So we thank you them. All right.
They haven't said get rid of the mouth. And
they haven't said any of that yet. At least not that we know of. All right, here we better blow this out before the sprinklers go on.
Right.
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, right.
We got good lungs.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But the smoke. No, all right. Take your
I'm not going to eat
cupcake.
one now. I mean, I'll put it.
Okay, just put it on the desk.
I got the orange one, right?
Yeah, of course, you got the orange one.
Yeah,
Bronco
the orange. Yeah,
I'll take the yellow one because I'm a chicken.
Is that what it is? Chicken for the yellow?
Now, you want to know why I like being last?
Why? Because nobody else's fingers.
Because I can grab
Then
it
you
by
can
the
grab
side
it.
there,
I know.
I want it on my fingers.
I
lick my fingers.
I know where my fingers have been.
Yeah,
I'm not worried. Anyway.
All right, I'll take I'll take a bite.
Anyway, all right.
I'm going to take a bite. Can I take a bite?
Please.
Is it okay if I take a bite?
Absolutely.
I'll take a bite.
You know how many times I've eaten on a show? It's pathetic. Which is the number one rule you should not do, right?
It's my first time ever.
Really?
What did you say?
It's my first time eating on the show.
Right. Just don't push anybody else's. Like at a wedding, they would do. No, we're not doing that.
No, that's right.
Not doing that. Excessive social media has many side effects as substance abuse.
Yes.
And we kind of just talked about it. It's addictive. Let's just talk about that first and foremost.
Yeah.
And lack of sleep, I got to imagine, because it's probably not the best thing in the world to get onto. They tell you, don't get on social media. The blue screen of your computer, your phone messes up with your body and your mind and your brain. Like you're not supposed to read a book before you go to bed.
So they say it's addictive. Right. So what
Because
makes
your brain
it
needs
that?
to slow down.
Just trying to stay up, keep up with the Joneses, what's going on? Is that why it's addictive? Because
I don't know. You sent the article to me.
Well, yeah.
Did you read it? No,
I did some of it. But yeah, what makes it addictive? Just because of that we want to keep up with social, or especially younger people, they want to be the center of attention.
And we're want it now society.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest thing. And we know how quickly things on social media could spread. So, for instance, if we started a rumor that says the mouth is nothing but a lesbian, gay, transvestite up here and put that on social media, would probably make newsworthy in about 3 minutes.
Let me stop right now and let's make sure that you
right,
guys
it was only an example, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only an example.
Right. The lesbian part is okay.
That's right.
The rest of it.
I say lesbian?
Yeah.
I think I said
The transgender gay part.
But you know what I'm saying? You can put anything out there, real or not, fake or factual, and people will pick up on it.
And some will take right.
And because people want to know, that's why the TikToks, YouTube videos, especially during the pandemic, skyrocketed because nobody had anything else to do.
Yeah, nothing else to do.
And so, unfortunately, we got in that habit for 15, 18 months of having nothing to do but that.
Yeah.
People can't break that
the irony
habit.
of that all is like I got caught up to you can't do anything else, so you're on the computer. And that's where I found the Dracula's death.
Oh, really?
Just out of boredom.
There you go.
Looking through Amazon books. But see, at least I was looking for books.
But
I like to read.
But I'm not saying that there aren't good usage for being on.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do I play games? Yeah, I play crossword. I got a puzzle. I'm not playing the killer games, but I do them at a time when I know I have a few minutes, quite frankly, when I need a break.
That's the only good thing about me is I don't play games.
Well,
I'm not into that.
But I don't consider crossword puzzle or puzzles or word match.
Maybe stuff to keep your...
But there are a lot more abusive games.
But that's advantageous.
Right, because I'm keeping my brain.
That's right. Keep your brain and
So doctors actually do recommend that to keep your brain sharp.
What about looking at porn? What does that do? Help keep your sexual...
Well, it keeps another thing sharp.
Okay.
Works for me.
Hey, just had to ask.
Not me.
No,
you do.
No, you just outrun it.
I kept my mouth shut.
That's funny. That's right.
All right. So keep that in mind.
What she said.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now here's another one. Freshwater swimming.
Yes.
I don't know if this happens to fish because there are a lot of freshwater fish, but apparently there's a lot of brain-eating amoebas if you swim in freshwater fish.
Now, when you're saying freshwater, that's a swimming pool.
That's a pond. No, that's a
pond. Freshwater pond, ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the ocean is not freshwater. That's salt.
A stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Any of those type of things.
Yep. A pond.
A well.
Okay.
Any of that type.
Well, that's not
because that's filled with fluoride.
So that doesn't. So fresh water, you can catch it. Well, that's not surprising.
Well, there are fish that are freshwater fish versus saltwater.
Okay.
I learned that while watching the show Tanked when it was on.
Right.
So what's considered a freshwater fish in a lake? Like a rainbow trout?
You're talking about a carp? Yeah, you're talking about carp, a trout.
Did you see him hold all those fish he caught in Denver a couple of weeks ago?
You didn't get any brain amoeba?
I didn't.
He wasn't in the water. He just caught all those
I caught all the fish.
Hopefully,
man, they say fish is brain food. I just got a few more brains.
Not for the fish. Not for the fish. They keep getting caught. I think by now they'd figure out how to not get caught.
So the possibility of swimming in a lake, you can actually catch some kind of a
it still ain't stopping me from going to Lake Havasu.
Yeah. Well, you got to realize and understand that there's so much out there. Look, you have deer that go over there. You have beavers that go over there. You got otters. You got all kinds of stuff that go over there and get a drink or get into the water. And they're carrying all kinds of stuff.
They might even poop in the water or go to the bathroom in the water.
And they're carrying all kinds of type of things.
Right, diseases, viruses,
viruses, and that whole deal. And it gets into the water, and they thrive, right? Because they understand how to survive, man, in that environment.
But we
and the minute we go in, and water goes up our nose or whatever in that whole deal, now we're susceptible to it. They latch on.
Yeah.
How you like me now?
Still ain't stopping going to Havasu.
Well, well, Lake Havasu is so hot. I don't know.
Well,
that's right. It boils the amoebas.
Right.
It boils them right away. Makes it even freshly cooked fresh water.
Matter of fact, they might jump out and jump in the boat with you and say, "Can I go
get out? Get me someplace cool." Absolutely. But look, you know what? Here's the thing. Stuff like that. A story like that. Okay. Who are these people that are spending the time to figure that shit out?
Because it's a turnoff. Now nobody's going to want to go swim. Are they trying to turn people away from going swimming in the lake, water skiing, hanging out?
I don't think so. I think what they're trying to do.
How many cases have been reported in the last year?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
3 or 6.
Oh, you know? Do you know?
I don't.
But this has been but this has been ongoing. This is not new.
Oh, okay.
This has been going on for a long time in that whole deal.
So
but
maybe
obviously,
12 now.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the thing about it, they brought it up before, and it might be that to the point where they're saying, "You guys just be careful. We don't want this to become an epidemic."
Right.
Wow.
Hey,
there's smoke, man. So there must be fire somewhere.
Well, I'm one of those guys that I'll get in the water, but I just get wet and get back out. So I never stick myself in there, go diving, or get water up my nose.
Oh, I do. I love it.
Yeah, I just I'd like to lay in the chair, get wet, get back out.
That's what I do. I float in the lake on my.
Or I'm a jet ski guy. I'll do jet skis.
Although I also like to take my chair, my little camping chair.
Yeah.
Go in the water, sit in just enough so the water comes up.
Yeah,
It gets me here.
That's all right.
And I watch the boats and the nice looking girls on the. Sorry, honey, I didn't. See
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on when I'm in the lake.
Nice looking guys. Nice looking guys.
Exactly. But listen, everything eventually somebody will find something that's wrong with what we do.
With everything.
All right, we have about 10 minutes left, which means
Jesus, already?
Which means it's time for
that's right.
America.
America Speaks.
All right. We're back already. That was quick. This is for you, America. This is your segment. We find topics and we find out what you are saying about it. It doesn't matter what Aaron or Rick or I say. It matters what you say. And we were talking earlier about the Michael Orr story, about him not sure what was happening, whether he got adopted or there was a conservatorship. But now there's fans and there's people out there. And again, I want to know who's doing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
The movie won an Oscar. Great movie. I loved it. I cried in it.
I love it. Absolutely.
But a great movie. The book was great. But now they're talking about Sandra Bullock, who Academy Award winner for that role of
still good, still hot, by the way.
Yeah, still great. They want her.
Who are they?
They, whoever the fans or the people that are writing in now about all this stuff.
Okay.
America, it's you, America. Some of you guys want
part of you.
Yeah, they want
1% of you.
They want Sandra Bullock to give back the Oscar for winning that book. Absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if the movie was a sham or a farce or whatever. They made a movie out of the book.
Because of poetic license, though, aren't all movies exaggerations?
Of course, you have to embellish them. You have to embellish some of those movies a little bit.
You mean to tell me not Chariots of Fire, Harry Potter wasn't real?
Yeah. Well,
Game of Thrones was.
What's that?
Game of Thrones. He's a nut back there, right?
Well, here's a lot of comments here according that
he is real.
Sandra Bullock, great actress. They want her to give back the Oscar, which is ridiculous. Here's some of the comments, and I'm glad that some of these people are saying what they're saying. Lucky 48, he made $37 million playing football, and he's suing these loving people. And the hordes out there want to take her Oscar away for an acting job. What is this world coming to? Pathetic. I agree. Would you guys agree with that? I know your stance is a little bit.
I agree. You know why? Because I'm the same way with Reggie Bush right now. You know, you got now NIL out there, and these kids are getting paid tons of money, man, in college now. Reggie, his parents took some money in that whole deal, not him. And so then the NCAA takes back his Heisman.
Right, because of what his parents
did. Give him his doggone Heisman back, man, because he earned it. Just like Sandra Bullock, she earned it. She went and did the job. She did the work.
Had nothing to do
with any of that type of stuff. No, leave her alone.
I agree. Thank you. What do you think, Aaron?
I'm totally in agreement.
Here's Bobo9. Bobo 4 Bobos. Bobo 9. Bullock has nothing to do with this. She's an actor who played a part in a movie. She played it well enough to win awards for her portrayal, but she only acted a role. I agree. Everybody seems to be on the same page.
Sure.
What a Nice Guy says, this was one of those movies that every actor was great. I don't listen to Tim McGraw music, but was impressed with his acting. Mm-hmm. Sandra Bullock had to walk a tightrope of not being bitchy and still be noble and classy. She nailed it. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how the real couple is. I know they were very successful. The father had sold some of his fast food franchises for upwards to $200 million, so they weren't hurting. So it's hard for me to believe that they were doing it for the money. But then you always hear, well, the rich are always greedy. They took him in when he was 16. He was in high school. He was playing football. Mm-hmm. He was pretty good, but they didn't know at the time if he was going to make it to college or even the NFL.
Right.
So here's some more. Let's see where we're at. Squeaky clean shoes. He just wants to bang her, and so do I, for that matter. Had to throw that one in.
Who,
there.
Michael Orr?
Yeah, he just wants to bang her. I guess that's, maybe that's Sandra Bullock,
How
not his
long
mother.
ago did Michael Orr retire from the NFL? He only played 10 seasons, didn't
9.
he?
So it was talking about, he's probably been out of the game 5 years,
5,
maybe
6 years?
4, 5, 6.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, look it up. You keep talking.
I think it was about 11 or 10 or 11. I think.
Yeah, Texas Thorn 494. The woke cancel mob are stupid. She received the Oscar for her portrayal of the character. The current accusations against the Tuohys was unknown at the time of the film. In line with the mob's warped logic, should the actors portraying Hitler, Dahmer, Gacy, and Ted Bundy also be condemned? That's a good one.
What about John D. Domenico? Should he be indicted?
Yeah.
How about Piccola?
Call him up and ask him.
The Tuohys took Orion, encouraged his football career, and he benefited from that. He got to play for the NFL and play in the Super Bowl, so he wasn't legally adopted. So he wasn't legally adopted. He was treated like a family member and did get a share of the movie profits. The monsters you listed should not have been mentioned in the same discussions of the Tuohys, since you insinuate they are monsters.
He was drafted by the Ravens in 2009, and after playing the 2015-16 season with the Panthers for 1 year, he retired.
Okay, so that's, you said 2009? So
yeah, so he played 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 years.
Okay.
Which is nothing. Which is not a big, long-time career.
And he still made
Well,
$30
it's great
million.
for a lineman. It
Well,
is,
that's
though.
true.
For a lineman,
yeah.
it is.
Scorpio Girl 51. Miss Bullock played a character very well, I might add. She had nothing to do with the family squabble. Leave her alone. So it looks like all these comments are favoring that allow her to keep the Oscar.
As well it
the
should.
fact that we were discussing it is crazy, but I had to because it's something that, like the one comment, the woke mob has just gone crazy over certain.
See, but it's a story like that, exactly magnifying the power, right, wrong, or indifferent, of social media, where a story like this maybe should get some press, but instead of focusing on the question at hand or looking at the representatives of Michael, like you're talking about, where somebody got in his ear or somebody's talking to him, we're focusing on someone winning an Oscar doing their job.
Right. Has nothing to do.
But that's social media taking the news, twisting it in a way that whoever, whatever, wants to spin it for the public to look
Here's
at.
a good one, and we can Zeterus. There's no evidence that the family profited at all over Orr other than for the book and maybe the movie. Mm-hmm. Yet that was a shared experience, not just for Orr, but for the family too and the kids. He had a brother and a sister too. Yeah. Perhaps he's upset over the conservatorship rather than the adoption. But what difference does it make unless they used it to their advantage? Again, you read earlier the difference. Maybe at the time they were thinking, he's 16. He's not going to make his own decisions on finances and stuff like that. So they took it upon themselves to be the parents.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let me tell you, I was adopted too. When I was 15 years old, after my grandfather passed away, a family took me in, right? And so I was working a good summer job. And so working that summer job, Mom took every one of my checks, right? Because she knew I was getting ready to go off to school and that whole deal. And I'm going to have to have some money so that I can do things. And so she was distributing me my money every month while I was at school to make sure that I could get through school and have money in my pockets. Because I had no idea, how to handle money and that. I think it was a good thing. And I think these parents, these folks, probably in the same situation, guys, where they're looking out for his best interest,
right?
And they want him to succeed, but they also want to make sure, like I said, at 16 years old,
right?
What does he know about
quite
$100 million?
Right.
And that's the thing. More adults should do that with their kids, regardless of how much they make.
I agree, right. And Rick just made an important point about they were looking out for his best interest. It wasn't about taking the money for themselves.
Are you giving us a whoop-de-whoop for our thought, or are you
the
trying
hell?
to tell us it's a wrap?
I would just want you to be aware of the time.
But I don't see it on the screen, so I can't. I don't know what clock I'm supposed to.
Corner.
You want me to follow that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one on the wall doesn't work.
That's why I put it over there.
Yeah.
He told me that at Aaron's hour. Don't look at the clock on the wall.
So that's how much time we got, right?
We have about 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Okay.
Which means we have to wrap up, start saying.
Really fast.
No. Great stuff. There was a couple of topics we didn't even touch, so we'll probably roll those over to next week if we even remember or care to. So with that, thank you for watching. Shall we say goodbye? Final thoughts.
Say goodbye. I'm going to, like Carol Burnett used to. No, guys, we live in troubled times. Keep your head above water. And I'm about to put the rest of this cupcake in my mouth. So I'm done.
Yummy in my tummy.
I can only say this. God loves the Broncos because sunsets are orange and blue.
See, I didn't even go there with football today. I was trying to be nice, but here you just blew it.
Some days. Anyway, hey, quick reminder, tomorrow, Kiwanis Connects, 9 to 10. Governor Val is winging her way right now to Hawaii. She's making her official visit to Hawaii, and she's going to be there to help some of the folks out there in our Kiwanis clubs, helping those in Maui. Hopefully, she will have an internet signal strong enough to join us. But we have the Director of National Marketing, David Localio from Vooks, Vooks. It's an online animated book series for kids. So you want to tune in from that at 9 a.m. With that, everybody, thank you again for watching. It's great to be back in studio with my partners here. Have a great week.
Awesome.
Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and be careful of any rainstorms coming your way. As always, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all happy. See you next time right here on the Roundtable. See ya.
Happy anniversary!